Welcome back to the channel, y'all. In this video, I want to talk to y'all about DAs and products. My thoughts. Now, there's a lot of people out here, a lot of these detailers, these detailing channels and stuff like that, make you to believe that the DA is the main issue when it comes to paint correction. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people claim, oh, you need to get a flex. Or you need to get a rupes, whatever how you pronounce it, a flex, or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, you're doing paint corrections or, you're just trying to take out scratches, swirls, just taking oxidation off the paint. It ain't really so much the DA that I'm finding out, guys. It ain't so much of the DA you're using. Most of the time, 95% of the time, when you're taking out scratches, you're taking out swirls, you're taking off oxidation, 90%, 95% of the times, you gotta focus on these pads and you gotta focus on the product that you're using. For example, this pad right here, I could take this pad off, wash or whatever. This is a medium cut pad. So, depending on what job you're doing, you get a medium cut. Whether you're removing scratches, whether you're moving swirls, whether you're removing oxidation, whether you're removing halos, uneven paint, whatever the case might be, blemishes, So if you need a medium cut pad, you just need a medium cut pad. Now, that being said, the DA gonna turn fast enough anyway. It ain't gonna matter what kind of DA you use, as long as you're using a quality dedicated DA. I don't care what the DA costs, $60 or $250. It's basically gonna do the same job. Most of the work is coming from the pad, and not only the pad, it's coming from the product you're using as well. Whether you're using a fine cut, a medium cut, or a heavy cut. Now, it's a lot of different products for a lot of different uses. That being said, also can go if you're using a straight compound. If you're using, let's say for example, a heavy cut compound by McGuire's. Okay, if you're using a heavy cut compound, then of course that's for heavily oxidized paint. That could be for severe scratches, or it could be just for severe, whatever, uneven spots or whatever, whatever. So you're using that. All right, so let's say your paint is not as severe as, another paint could be, very oxidized or whatever the case might be. So you say, well, okay, this paint is in rough shape. I mean, it looks terrible. So that's when a lot of times this will come to play like your pad. Okay, date back. Now this is a medium cut pad right here. All right, now the paint is super, 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 super bad. You're going to pull this pad off and you're going to go to a heavy cut pad. Heavy cut pad could be blue if I'm not mistaken. Could be red if I'm not mistaken. I can't say I'm 100% sure about the colors, but you get what I'm saying. You gotta look for a heavy cut pad. So that's when it come to play. Once again, this reflects back to the DA. The DA ain't gonna mean a whole lot. It's still gonna go by the pad you're using, whether this thing turning 850 watts, 750 watts, or 950 watts. It ain't gonna make a heck of a lot of difference. The difference gonna be in the pad you're using mostly and the product you're using. Now you could be using a heavy cut compound. You could be using a medium cut compound. You could be using a fine cut compound. It depends. So, it's just how it is. Now, a lot of people get it mixed up thinking that, oh, I'm going to spend $300 on a dual action polisher, a DA, which is really ain't going to make a whole lot of difference. I mean, if you really want to tear up some paint, get a rotary. You can get a rotary 40, 50 bucks on eBay and Amazon all day long. And a rotary is much stronger, but you can burn through some clear coat as well. You got to be extra careful when using a rotary, because if you you make a one harsh mistake with a rotary, you can burn right through somebody's clear coat. Easy. It's 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you. And you be like, oh man, that's burnt through this person's paint. No. They come, man, what happened to my car? You know, because you done burned through the clear coat with that rotary. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You got to be very, very experienced if you're using a rotary, because you can easily burn through the clear coat. You can burn somebody daggone paint up, and you'll have a problem then, you know. So, yeah, I recommend you stick with a DA. You can't really tear up nobody's paint with a DA, you know. So, very, very hard. It's really, your chances are 100% to none, you know. So, basically, you can't destroy no paint with this. It's just easy to work with. But, still, the fact remains. It ain't the DA. As long as you got a good quality DA like this, I think I paid around 80, 90, 100 bucks for this, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it's quality enough. It's not the most expensive DA. It doesn't need to be. Most of the times when you're doing paint corrections or any other kind of correction to the paint or whatever, a lot of times you want to focus on your products that you're using and your pads that you're using. Yeah, the pads. Because like I said, whether you're using a hex pad, whether you're using just a regular pad, a Lake Country pad, a Buff and Shine pad, or you'll spend most of your money on pads than you will a DA, you know. So it's best for your quality will come from your pad and your product, not so much of the DA. A lot of people be getting it twisted, thinking, "Oh, I got to spend $300 on a DA," you know. And so you can spend 60 bucks on one and do the same freaking thing. So you got to focus more on the product that you're using for that job and your pads that you're using for that job. You already got to test whether you're using a fine cutting pad, whether you need a fine cutting pad, whether you need a medium cutting pad, whether you need a heavy cut pad. It depends. You got to test different areas of the panel just to find out which one working the best for that job. So y'all need to quit thinking that you got to spend $400 and $500 on a DA, which is unnecessary. Of course, they're going to get you to bamboozle you into buying a DA that costs $400 $500 when it's nonsense. Even though it might be good, but I don't think it's much better than a $100 DA, you know. And I'll stick to it. Most of your works will come in from the pad and the product, not the DA. So, what y'all think about it? I just give my take, my honest opinion. I think it's all just gimmicks and marketing hype out here. Don't follow the hype, man, till you'll get caught up. Till next time, stay up. I'm out. Peace.